the Metropolitan Lounge. I'm waiting for a train to Washington, D.C. in about an hour. And just wanted to give a little bit of an update of what's going on here. It's Monday, and sorry about that. I'm just trying to adjust the camera. I'm in the balcony. I'm in the balcony of the Metropolitan Lounge and just had a little bit of breakfast, and I'm just waiting for the train. So anyways, I'm in Moynihan Train Hall, and you can see it's pretty busy. It is a holiday today, so there's less commuters than normal, but these people are waiting for Amtrak trains. And in the lounge, it's pretty nice and quiet. And to sit up here, you either have to have a first class Excella ticket or a roomette on a sleeper train, a sleeper car, or a room on a sleeper car, or if you're a member of the Amtrak's Rewards, and you have enough points, you can get a pass, which is how I'm up here. I'm just going to Washington in coach. I'm actually going to Northern Virginia, and taking the train to Washington. Then I'm going to go the rest of the way by metro, rather than taking the train to Alexandria. And I'm going to spend the night in Northern Virginia, and then in the morning I will take a train from Alexandria to Charleston, South Carolina. This is a day train. I've taken it here from Penn Station, New York. It leaves, I'm going to say, like 6 in the morning. You can do it in the daytime, it's fine. It's kind of a long trip, so I like to break it up. I have some friends in the Northern Virginia area. I'll have dinner there tonight and just break up the trip. And off today. Today's a holiday, and it's also Inauguration Day. And I got a bunch of advisories from Amtrak on their app. Number one, about the cold. It doesn't seem to be a problem today. I see a little bit of snow on the glass roof of the Moynihan Train Hall. We did have a little snow last night. It wasn't bad. And it is cold. And extreme cold temperatures, like extreme heat, can affect train speeds. More for safety reasons. Sometimes they have to slow the trains down, or there could be, I don't know, problems with some of the equipment in extreme cold weather. But everything so far seems to be on time, so that's good. The other advisories were today's Inauguration Day, and there's going to be huge crowds in Washington, D.C. For all the festivities, and I think there's a parade afterwards for President Trump's inauguration. And I'm not going to say Union Station's on lockdown, but it's severely restricted. Some of the entrances have been closed off, and they advise people how to get into Union Station. And it shouldn't affect me because I'm arriving there and I'm going right to the metro, which is at the station. And they're actually advising people to take the metro to Union Station, and that was a way to access the station without having to do like a walk around. The station's quite large, and I think the main entrance on Massachusetts Avenue are going to be closed. I mean, it's not far from the Capitol. So, for lots of crowds, lots of security. So anyways, there's a lot of advisories there, but I'm not expecting any difficulties. Maybe I'll do a little video when I get off the train in Washington and walk from the platform over to the metro. So I just wanted to talk about that. So that's the travel plan for today. And another little travel hack I'm going to try today is, since I don't have a reserved seat number like you get like on Excella, and it's just first come, first serve. A lot of people do board the train from Moynihan Train Hall. It's a great station. There's a lot of amenities. food, Walgreens, you name it. If you need any travel supplies, you probably can get it here. There's also a pretty cool food court behind towards the Ninth Avenue section, and there's a lot of choices for food. There's like an Irish pub there. I think it's called the Irish Exit. And one of the cool features there is they have a flippy board, a Solari screen that they used to have in the old part of Penn Station. And I was there the other night, and they promote different types of beer in their food items, but they also were giving out train information there too. So if you're there having a drink or a bite to eat, and they were giving both Amtrak and Long Island Railroad food. Long Island Railroad also uses this station as well as the original Penn Station, as does Amtrak. New Jersey Transit does not. They're on tracks usually 1 through 4, which this station, or this part of the station, has tracks 5 through. Well, we can see it here, 5 through 16, but this actually, Long Island Railroad has tracks up to, I believe it's 21. So we might hear some train announcements.
Track passengers waiting to board train number 190, Amtrak's delayed. 741 regional service en route to Boston. At this time, you may proceed to track number 15. Track number 15 for train number 190.
Okay, friends. As you heard, they're boarding the train to Boston, and it was delayed.
Amtrak passengers waiting to board train number 2150. Amtrak's delayed 857. Acela Express en route to Boston. At this time, you may proceed to track number 10. Track 10 for train number 2150. Amtrak's delayed 757. Acela Express en route to South Station, Boston.
Okay, friends. So what we have 2 trains to Boston. One a regional train and one an Acela. Both boarding like around the same time, and they're both delayed. So when I got off the subway this morning and walked over to, from the 7th Avenue line over to the Moynihan Train Hall, when I checked the departure board, I didn't notice any delays. But you can see the people rushing now to the boarding exits. So I think we get the announcements up here in the Metropolitan Lounge before they do, but you can see they're lining up. So they're going to be boarding 2 trains right about the same time. 2 different tracks, of course. So that's going to empty up the station. Yeah, you can see like in the, I guess you call it the foreground, that they're lining up around track 9 and 10. And then at the other end of the hall, they're lining up around, it looks like 15 and 16. So anyway, there were delays coming up from Washington towards Boston, but the Acela train, it looks like it was about maybe 45 minutes late. I'm not sure about the regional, maybe an hour late. So anyways, friends, I'm trying to think of where I was going with this. Oh yeah, so you can see these lines here. And when you don't have a reserved seat, it's just first come, first serve. I mean, everybody will have a seat. They don't really oversell the trains anymore. So everybody has a reservation, but they don't have an assigned seat. So what I'm planning on doing is at about 9 o'clock, I'm going to head over to the original part of Penn Station and board the train from there, thinking that there'll be there won't be lines like this, and I'll be able to just go down to the platform and board the train to Washington. I mean, it's probably going to be crowded, but I'm going to try to get like maybe a window seat. So, anyways, that's the plan. I've boarded trains from here many times. It's fine, but you can see the crowds, and they board them relatively quickly. Probably within 5 minutes, both of these trains will be boarded. But I'm going to try that, and that could be one of, a hack for some people, especially if you have few people in your party you want to try to sit together. That might be a good hack to go over to the original part of Penn Station. And over there too, it's a little bit more, I don't know how to say it, I don't know if it's seedy. There's a lot of services over there. Here there's more cleaners, there's more security. You don't see as many people hanging out that don't have tickets. And the other part, there are a lot of services too. There's a lot of places to eat, and there's places like Hudson News Stand to get different types of supplies. There used to be a Walgreens like right on the main level. I think that's closed, but there's two Walgreens in the station. There's one on the 33rd Street passageway, which isn't too far from main waiting area. Also, there is a I don't know if you call it a secure ticketed waiting area at the old part of Penn Station, and it's pretty nice. It's not as nice as this. There's no food options or free giveaways, but you just have to show an Amtrak ticket or Jersey Transit ticket, and they have comfortable seating. It's relatively quiet. They also have some high top table, low top table with power, to work or to charge devices. That's pretty good. And also there is a Starbucks there, and the Starbucks is between the secure ticketing area in the public area. So it's kind of in between the two. So on the secure ticket area, you have access to Starbucks, as well as people outside the ticketed area, just passing through. And at the other end, there's a little bar. I'm trying to think what it's called. But that also you can get a drink from the secure ticketing area as well as the public area. The bar's like in the middle between the two sections. So anyways, that's my plan. I'm going to do that. And hello. God, I'm so new at this. King 07098. Thanks for joining in. I know I didn't really give any notice of this kind of a last minute thing, and because of what happened my last live stream, I wanted to see if I could do this right or better. So that's about it. In Penn Station, I just want to let people know also if the First National Bank of Omaha has an Amtrak credit card, and it's a good way to get points if you charge a lot of just activities of daily living to your credit card to build up points, and they're very easy to use, and as far as I know, they don't expire. And if you do a lot of Amtrak trips, you may be able to get the I think it's called Select Executive, and get access to the Metropolitan Lounges, which are in Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, Chicago, Los Angeles, and of course the one. This is the premier one, the one in One Train Hall, New York. None of the other ones really compare, but I mean, it is, especially if you have a long layover, a long wait. It is a nice place to hang out, and I don't know if this is, there's a guy just cleaning, just coming by cleaning. I'll try. Yeah, they keep this place very clean. And there's very few people up here. I guess there were a lot of people that were waiting for that Excel train to Boston. And later on in the morning, there'll be the long distance train. So you'll have the sleeping car passengers that have access up here too. And for breakfast this morning, I usually get, when I come here like for early morning train of access, I usually get like a breakfast sandwich. Their ovens were down today, so they weren't able to serve those. But I did get a couple hard-boiled eggs, some yogurt with granola, and a berry scone. So that was pretty good. And also, I pick up a couple of Kind bars for the trip that they have, and some mints just for snacks. I'll try to. Here's the mints. Here's the Kind bars. They gave me 2. Dark chocolate, cherry, cashew. And I also picked up these for the trip. Popcorn and pretzels. So that's about it. I'm going to. I'm just going to move the camera just so you can kind of get a view of the lounge. This is the balcony. You can see there's just a couple of people down the other end. There were a few people making a video. This is the interior. There's lots of different style seats. There's like individual seats, very high back, so you have privacy. There's also cushioned seats around tables, like at a diner type thing, with booths. There's high top tables, many different types, and the capacity, I always forget what it is exactly, but every building in New York City at some place has a little sign that says what the capacity is. I guess it's a fire marshal rule. I believe the capacity up here is about 600 passengers. So it's pretty good. And it's usually I've never seen it full. And it was a little bit more crowded earlier, but as you can see, the crowds have thinned out downstairs. That they boarded those trains. It takes like 4 or 5 minutes. And there also was another train. We couldn't see it because it was on track 5, which is actually under the lounge here, and that was the train to Montreal. It goes up through New York State up to Montreal, the Adirondack. So, news friends. Okay, I did want to mention about the credit card, and that the points are easy to use. You can either use it through the app or you can call the Amtrak number. And so I've done this trip to Charleston a number of times. Sometime going down, I usually take the day train. The problem with to get a room on the train, it arrives Charleston like 4 something in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and I don't know, it's just not as convenient. But many times I've taken the night train out of Charleston with the Silver Meteor, and that leaves Charleston at, I want to say 9 o'clock, 9:30, I know when you get on, it's after the food service, so you don't get dinner, but they have the room made up for you, and you can just relax and then get breakfast. I think starting at 6 a.m. And that's a nice ride. Um, if you're going to take a night train, the getting a room or roomette, it's really nice. It makes it a lot easier. Of course, they're not cheap. It's kind of like a hotel plus meals plus transportation all rolled into one. So it's pretty expensive. But if you do have the points, it's definitely very doable, and it's a nice way to travel. Upcoming plans, I really don't have anything concrete, but I do want to take a trip to Ohio, and two things I want to do there. I want to do I want to visit the Cincinnati, I think it's Union Terminal. I've seen pictures of it, never been there. It's a beautiful place. They're still using it. I think there's 8 trains a week. The Cardinal, I think, is just for 3 or 4 days a week, and that's the only train that stops there.
Ugland parties, please meet your red cap at the front desk. Watson and Ugland, please meet your red cap at oh, I'm sorry. Scratch that. Cats and Wallet, please meet your red cap at the front desk. Cats and Wallet, please meet your red cap at the front desk.
Okay, well, that little announcement with the red cap, it's probably people with a lot of luggage, and they're probably going. There's probably a train with sleeper car compartments. Wouldn't be surprised if they're going to Florida, or definitely a long distance. I mean, when you're bringing that much luggage, I mean, yeah, they could be going to Washington, but they're probably going pretty far. So anyway, I would like to go to the Cincinnati. Nicholas Galvis Garrido, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Wow, 2 people here. That's amazing for me. This is such a small channel, but I do love trains and enjoy riding them, talking about them. So anyway, I want to plan a trip to Ohio. Want to go to Cincinnati to visit the Union Terminal, and the trains there are like 3 in the morning, and maybe just take the train from there to New York. And I'm trying to think how that route goes. Yeah, that goes through. It's kind of a beautiful ride. We'll go through West Virginia to D.C. and then up to. So that's one place I want to go, and I also want to go to Dayton, Ohio. One of the few cities in the United States that has trackless trolleys, or the trolley buses. I know there's New York hasn't had them for a long time. They're still in Philadelphia, which I plan on getting down there. I've never ridden them in Philadelphia. I have in Boston, which no longer has them, and in San Francisco. So I'd like to go to Dayton, Ohio. It's a relatively small type city, but it's amazing they still have the electric trackless trolleys. And so that's on the list. I don't know my geography of Ohio that well, how close Dayton is to Cincinnati, but I think that would be a nice trip. And the other trip I want to take is up to Buffalo. I've been on the Lakeshore Unlimited, but I've never actually gone to Buffalo. And there's a few things I'd like to see there, as well as check out their light rail system, which from watching some videos and just reading a little bit about it is kind of unique, where it's like in a subway type situation outside of the downtown area, and it's on the surface, and downtown Buffalo area. So I'd like to do that. That's two things.
Amtrak passengers waiting on board train number 2152, Amtrak's 902 Acela Express en route to Boston. At this time, you may proceed to track 12 for train number 2152.
All right, friends. So yeah, those are the three places I like to go: Dayton, Cincinnati, and Buffalo. You just heard the announcement they're going to be boarding at track 12. You see, there's not much activity over there. It's an Acela to Boston. It was the 902, so this one's on time. I mean, they're boarding it about 12 minutes ahead of time. You can see track 12, 11 and 12, and there's no action there. Well, there's a red cap. You can just see him. He's coming into the screen with a bunch of luggage. Maybe they are just going to Boston. I don't know where he's taking them. But that might have been the families that were up here.
Amtrak passengers waiting aboard train number 2151, Amtrak's 9 o'clock Acela Express en route to Washington, D.C. At this time, you may proceed to track number 9. Please follow the directions of the ushers at track number 9 to board train number 2151, the Amtrak's 9 o'clock Acela Express en route to Washington, D.C.
Okay, friends. So we have two Acelas boarding on tracks 9 and 12, one to Boston, one to Washington. And we're just starting to see people trickling into the line on track 12. And so far, really nothing on track 9, but it'll be there. And once we board these trains, I think we're going to end the video. We're coming up on 27 minutes. I want to thank everyone that watched it, and I will upload it. And just, yeah, they must make the announcement up here like 2 or 3 minutes before they make it downstairs. So I'm just starting to see people heading over to track 12. Oh yeah, there's an announcement. You can see them. That was the announcement for track 12. You can see them all heading over there. Yeah, traveling to Boston, the Acela, I think, is the way to go. To Philadelphia or Washington, I don't think really matters. You don't save that much time with the Acela. The regionals are pretty fast, especially to Philadelphia. A friend of mine was telling me yesterday he took a train, and he's not really a train guy. He took a train from New York to Philly and just walked up to the window, got a ticket, like half hour before the train. I don't know what he paid, but he said it was less expensive than if he had taken the local New Jersey Transit to Trenton and then SEPTA from Trenton to Philadelphia. He said it was less expensive than that. So, I was surprised because Sunday's usually kind of a busy day. He also said it only took an hour, which I find that pretty quick. I've timed it before from Philadelphia to New York, and it's 90 miles, and yeah, they can average 60 miles an hour. I mean, there are a few stops on the way. So I don't know, maybe that train was just made one stop between the two cities. I don't know. But anyways, there are the crowds now. So the Acela to Boston, yeah, I recommend that. And Christian Sandoval, hi Christian, thanks for joining. Going to be ending it soon, but I really appreciate you guys stopping by. And yeah, we're getting the line now for track 9. So you can see the boarding process is much quicker than at the airport. You know, you just you don't even show your ticket to get down to the platform. There are attendants there, just just answering questions and maintaining order. But you can see everybody is kind of knows what to do, and we'll give it another 2 minutes, and these crowds will be empty. And hey, Jesus Perez, thanks for joining in. He said Jesus says it looks busy. It is busy right now because they're boarding 2 trains simultaneously, an Excella to Boston, Excella to Washington, and but other than that, it's been pretty normal. These trains were on time. Earlier, we had 2 trains boarding simultaneously to Boston, one Excella, one regional. They were delayed, so it looks like things are kind of back on schedule. And I noted earlier that the ovens were down up in the Metropolitan Lounge, so there were no breakfast sandwiches. But anyways, there was yogurt and hard-boiled eggs and muffins and scones, so that was good. So you can kind of see there's still still some big crowds there. It's like to board the train on track 9. The one on track 12 is pretty much done. You see the end of the line. They're snaking through. And then just a few groups of people just hanging out. There's a place for coffee. There's a place that sells high-end chocolates. Can't really see it. I love